Right, the one you just saw running off there, there's a Garapanda, by the way. Not the little one, it's baby ancistrus, but the one you just saw running off in that direction, the big one, is there's a lemon tetra. I'll come back to that. That's obviously the father of most of these ancistruses, including the albino ones. It's quite remarkable, the camera on this Motorola phone. See if I can try and get it to. It's not very good at focusing in real time as I take the video. So maybe I need to just pull back a bit, give it a bit of. So if I pull back like this, I can still get right up. It's a very small fish you're looking at, but it's multiplied. But there's a lot of them. Of the offspring of the guy I showed you at the very beginning, who's, I think he's over there now, hiding around between there, something about making himself precious. There you can see his muzzle with the horns on it, I think you can probably see. Yeah, you can see the horns. And yeah, so at the moment, what I've got going on here, I'm treating this tank as like, it's got too many snails in it, which I'll have to deal with, but I can't deal with it while I've got another project going on. Namely, all these gourami fry. Now, where are they? They're up here, aren't they? And now, well, there, you see them. I don't have to be even that much magnified for you to see them now, because they're actually quite visible now. Their features are visible to the naked eye. However, if we try and get a bit of a zoom on them, just to difficult to focus on something that small. You can see. Oh, I think you've got a much better shot then. Yeah. You see, there's quite a few of them. You can see 3 in the count in the shot right there. You may think that's quite big now, but actually, you still, when you think of that, that's the Vallisneria next to it. It's not big at all, really. But they're shoaling around in quite large groups. There's about 12 in there that I managed to take out of the other tank. I just basically took water, moved water from where they were from to here, and they went in with the water. You can't pick them out individually or anything like that. You just got to move the water, and they'll be in there with the water. So that's how I did it. Clearly, you've got to be very careful with the temperature. Don't give them a thermal shock when you take them from one to another. Try and keep the tanks as close as possible to the right temperature. Gourami is like quite a high temperature as well, so it's got to be on the kind of 28 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me what that is in Fahrenheit. And there's a very nice intervention there by the Garapanda. Of course, its mouth is underslung, so even though it's much bigger than these, it couldn't be a threat to them. The one fish in this tank which hasn't got an underslung mouth is, of course, that lemon tetra, which is right here. And I was worried about him. I took all of the rest of them out, but somehow this one was just too good to get caught. Too good at evading my net attentions. So, but he or she doesn't seem to be too bothered about chasing those baby gouramis. I don't know whether it's because they're too small or because they're already too well grown, and or because the other dry food is enough, easier to get. But these boys are up here and obviously could be prey for that lemon tetra, but I don't see that, if it was interested, it'd be hunting them. I haven't seen him hunting them. I think one predator fish anyway isn't necessarily a bad thing if you want to keep stocks, because that's nature's way of making sure your best ones survive. But if you're not careful, it takes a lot of them. The last time, I've only ever bred gouramis once before in my life. That was dwarf gouramis, but I had a baby, what they call szczupięcik. No, it was some kind of a killifish. And it also had laid eggs. And one of the killifish survived from that laying of eggs. And that baby killifish was quite enough just to basically take all of the fry from the Calissolele, from the dwarf gourami. But this time I seem to be having better luck so far. And this is now 2 weeks, so the hard part may be over. Certainly I'm having a lot of luck with these baby ancestresses, but then Ancestress, to be honest, isn't a difficult fish. Blue gourami probably isn't that much of a difficult fish. But this might be a more difficult fish. There's a nice group of 3 in there, including one obvious pair. And maybe we'll start seeing something from them as well. I don't know. But I haven't seen any mating behaviour, so the first thing I'd be likely to see is actually yet another kind of small fish in there. Without any obvious explanation other than that those guys have been at it. Certainly there's a bigger chance of a rarer Corydoras taking the initiative than there is of Garapanda, which I don't think has had any recorded spawnings in captivity. That makes me unlikely to be the first. However, it would be very nice to be the first Acorus to spawn some species. But you need more equipment, you need more tanks, you need more patience, you need more space, you need more, a lot of things to be that kind of Acorus, I think. I know those kinds of Acorus. I know quite a few of them personally, but I don't think I'm going to necessarily be one myself at the moment.